Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I'm Dan. Get off my lawn cars. And we're doing a special episode here today from hunting camp in the Upper Peninsula. Behind me, you can see a lot of different things that are posted up on one of the walls of our hunting camp. And we're at day 2 of the season. And yesterday, unfortunately, no deer. Very still weather, warm weather, and no deer came in at all. It's kind of unusual. Usually, you see a few deer. But nothing came in last night. We are on Saturday morning, and nothing came in. Nothing came in this morning either. All the bait was still there. Tons of apples I put out. Nothing had been touched. The only thing that's out there right now are blue jays, and so they're kind of making a racket. But I'll kind of show you around the camp as far as what things look like as far as the living at camp. This is my third day at camp. I came in Thursday and spent Thursday night and then Friday night. And going to stay now Saturday and then going to leave tonight after evening watch. So I'll give you a little bit of a look at what the camp looks like when it's been lived in. All right, looking outside here this morning. Sunny day. A little bit of wind. The first 2 days, I can't ever remember being as still as it was the first 2 days. Just zero wind. And wind's picked up a little bit. We've got a 100-pound tank of propane that heats this camp outside. Just filled that up in October and hooked it back up. So let's go inside and it's cozy in camp this morning. It is warm outside. It's about 45. And very similar to last season. There's our space heater. And propane comes in to our space heater there. I do have a battery-powered fan that I just kind of put on top of it. And one of the issues that we were having at camp here, especially if it's cold, it hasn't been so much of an issue this year, is that from the floor up to about 2 feet, 3 feet, the camp stayed fairly cool. We do have this camp insulated, but it's not, like super well insulated. So I put this fan in, and it's pretty slick. What it does is it just, if I can, just blows the warm air down and gives it a chance to warm up the bottom part of the camp and before that air rises. So like I said, I haven't really needed it too much, but it is kind of a powerful fan. Gazoled brand. I bought it off Amazon. It works pretty well. Here's our cook stove. I used that on first night I was here. I had just soup, and it's kind of a nice to have out here. Like I said, there's no electricity or running water, but yesterday I took my uncle out to eat, so I didn't use a cook stove at all. I just had a sandwich, part of a sub sandwich, and so I didn't use it, but it's nice to have. There's our old kitchen stuff, cast iron pans, and we got couple smaller pots, and I don't know why we have the saw there. That doesn't really belong there, but there's a hook, so we put it on the hook. Got a big old pot there if we need it. Like if we need to warm up water, if we shoot a deer or something, it's nice to have warm water to kind of rinse yourself off if you've got a deer or something. Hopefully that'll happen tonight. We got a nice chest of drawers. We got tools in there and utensils and stuff like that. Down on the bottom here, we've got corn. I bought 50 pounds of corn. 50 pounds of corn in Lake City. And we keep it in the camp because we don't want bears monkeying around with it. And I have apples. I bought a bunch of apples also. I kept those in my 4Runner. There's been bears around. I haven't seen any signs or anything, but you know, a couple people that we know around, my uncle and other people, they've said they've seen bears on trail cams and such. So you don't want bears sniffing around too much, and so keeping the corn inside is good for that. Got the bed. Bed's been very comfortable. I really haven't had to use more than one blanket because it's been pretty warm. Other than that, we actually have a bunk bed. The top bunk is kind of nice just to keep stuff up there. You know, like my clothes bag, and I got to get rid of a few things. There's a couple boxes. We bought the space heater last fall, so that can probably go. And I just bought a Coleman lantern and took that apart and put that together. So that can go. These things that are hanging are called Luminade boxes. And these are pretty cool. I bought these on eBay. I think I got hooked on a commercial on Instagram or something. And the way that these work is that they're flat and you blow them up. There's like an air thing there where you can blow them up into a box. And you can charge them up. You can see the charging port there. You can charge it up just like you charge your phone. And when you press the button, they light up. And you can, you know, set it for different amounts of light. They also have an emergency one if you need to. And, you know, it doesn't take long to charge. They do have a solar panel, although those solar panels, I don't know if those really work that well. But, you know, like I was reading in bed, and they lasted for about, I would say, a good hour and a half. You know, they're kind of nice after evening watch when everything's dark. You just, you know, just hit the button and turn them on, and then you can kind of, instead of fumbling your way toward, you know, maybe lighting one of these Coleman lanterns, these are just kind of really handy. They've been very nice. Hanging them on the bed. They provide a lot of light for quite a while. Let's see, our Coleman lantern. This is the one that I put together. We had one that kind of went kaput. The air pump went on it, and it was kind of dangerous, so I didn't want to risk that. And we had it for like 30 years, but I bought a new one, and that one works real well. Along the wall, we've got, you've seen this if you've seen other videos from camp, a couple tanned fox hides, big old trap that were used to catch coyotes and foxes and stuff. Bobcat that was stuffed. I brought quite on the other side of the camp, we've got a whole bunch of water we brought. There's about 5 gallons of water in those two holders there. My boots. These boots I actually got in Alaska. I kind of like them because, number one, they're kind of like, they're short boots. A lot of boots you get, they're the real tall ones. They're kind of hard to put on, and these just slide on and off. And when I was in Alaska visiting my brother, I noticed a lot of people were wearing them even in the summer, and they are kind of handy. Like I said, winter so far has not been very cold, so you know, I don't have to wear very heavy insulated boots or anything like that. And those boots will do the trick. Right by the boots down here, you've got a buddy heater. That's kind of our emergency heater, just in case our space heater goes out. I wouldn't recommend using those like inside, but we do have a couple windows that open, and so like I said, those are kind of emergency situation type things. A little bit of food. I did bring some. The hard thing here is like refrigeration. So I do have a small Coleman that has a ice block in it, keeping like orange juice and water cold. But a lot of it is just dry goods. Soup and potato chips and chunky soup. Double noodle soup. I do have a bunch of candy. I've got second cousins that I'll probably give that to. I've got muffin bars in the morning, so nothing really fancy. There's a Coleman water jug. It's got about 2 gallons of water in there, drinking water, so very nice to have. On the other side here, we've got our kitchen table. Just got a lot of the stuff that we use, like binoculars and flashlight and radio, and this is kind of a cool thing. This is like it's a power supply station. This one's done by Blue Eddy, but there's a whole bunch of them. This became kind of popular like a year or two ago. And what this is just, it's a power station. You know, you can charge it up like at home, and I bring it out to camp, and I can keep my phone charged by just plugging in that. And it'll charge my phone like 8 or 9, 10 times. So right now it's at 35%, and I've been using it for a couple days. So, excuse me, it's been pretty good. It's a pretty valuable thing. I can charge up those Luminate boxes, these things, using it as well. It's kind of nice. Like, I have enough signal where I can call out if I need to. And we've got our little kerosene lantern. That's kind of a nice night light. You just fill it up. I had to cut some new wicks for the inside of it. The last wick was getting pretty short, so that was one of my jobs when I first came in, is to do that. Like I said, binoculars. There's got a couple shelves. Nothing too big in there, I don't think. We have like extra hats and gloves just in case, you know, you get wet or something. Can't ever have enough toilet paper. I've been reading this book when I've been here. Collection of short stories, The Summer He Didn't Die by Jim Harrison. And I finished the first short story last night. Jim Harrison is actually a guy he's a famous writer. He wrote Legends of the Fall, Wolf. Those are made into popular movies. I actually met Jim Harrison about 20 years ago at a graduation party in Grand Marais, Michigan, of all places. I had a kid that played for me, basketball, and then also was a student of mine. And when I went to his graduation party, there's Jim Harrison. And Jim spent a lot of time in Grand Marais. He was a fisherman, and he hunted birds. And I don't know if he hunted deer. I don't think he hunted deer. It seemed to me he just hunted birds and fished. And actually, the short story that he wrote took place in the UP, and mentioned a lot of places all across the UP, like Marquette and Grand Marais. Actually mentioned the Dune Saloon, which is an actual place in Grand Marais. So, you know, Jim Harrison passed away a couple years ago, but you know, if you have time, YouTube Jim Harrison. He's an interesting character. Lived many lives, as they say. So, it's my book recommendation for the day. It's nice to have a book or two, you know, just pass the time a little bit, and it's really quiet and peaceful. Right in the corner here, I just have a bag of stuff there, hats that I brought, and, you know, cords and stuff that you need. Got my gun case. My rifle of choice there, the 243. It's a bolt action 243. My dad actually brought that from Finland. My dad married my mom in the early 70s. She was born and raised in Finland, and my dad is of Finnish heritage, so they went back to the old country before I was born, and my dad bought this gun. Got to be a little careful. It's loaded, but safety's on. But bought this gun. It's 243 Sako brand from Finland. Put a scope on it when he brought it back. Scope's really powerful scope. And my dad shot more deer with that than you can probably count. In the 80s and 90s, you could shoot 2 deer a year. Didn't matter how many horns on the side. You had to shoot bucks. And my dad shot 2 deer with that gun pretty religiously every year. And so, like I said, that gun's older than I am. And I've shot a couple deer with it, but my dad shot a million deer with that gun. A lot of them up on the ceiling here, as we'll get to. So it's kind of a tour of the thing here. We've got some deer hanging. You've probably seen those. We've got a set of snowshoes. Our back window is where we got our bait pile. Just take we have a hitch, but when we're here, we just have a little nail that we use to keep it closed so we can have easy access to it if we need it. Here's our bait pile. Not a lot of activity out there. Pretty quiet. Too quiet, really. So, but you never know when deer come in. You know, I really probably shouldn't be shooting, but the last deer my dad ever shot was an 8-pointer out of here that he shot at 1 in the afternoon. So it was probably like is today, where it was just kind of bright, and deer came in. My mom and dad were actually putting a shelf in camp, and my mom looked out the window and there was a deer. And so that was the last deer my dad ever shot. It was shot about 3 years ago. And shooting it in the afternoon is kind of nice. You can kind of dress it and, you know, and all that. And you don't have to worry about being dark and, you know, losing a deer or anything like that. It was kind of nice. So that's our bait pile. We've got some pumpkins out there and corn and apples, but no deer. Lots of bait, no deer. So I don't know what's going on. But the weather's changing a little bit, a little windier today. Maybe that's what gets them to come in. They have been coming in. They have been taking bait. Last night was just kind of weird, though. Very strange. So, shut the door here. Put our nail up. There we go. Like I said, we have a latch that we normally put it, but let's get that. There we go. All right, so that's our tour. If you haven't seen this camp before, there's a lot of big bucks that have been shot over the years. Most of these are my dad's. My mom actually has one that's in here. I think it's this one that's right by the trap there. I have a couple 8-pointers myself. I don't have them at camp here. I have them at home. But there's an old conibear trap used for trapping season. But that's that. You know, that's kind of what this camp looks like when it's lived in for a couple days. And, you know, I plan on staying 1 or 2 more nights out here. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to shut things down a little bit and head up to Marquette and shower and shave and all that. And so... Okay, so like I said, first day of season's in the books. Unfortunately, no deer hanging yet, but we're going to keep trying. And my uncle's actually supposed to come over and visit here shortly, so that would be kind of nice. And so hopefully luck will turn. Weather's changing a little bit. That might be good news. We'll see. But like I said, I'm going to stay till evening watch tonight and head back to visit my mom. And I'll be back out here for evening watch tomorrow. And I'll probably spend 1 or 2 more nights at camp. I got food enough to be here a night or 2 yet. And it's nice and calm and peaceful. And it's nice being out here. So until next time, Kitos, thank you. Adding subscribers. So thank you for those that have been subscribing. Really appreciate it. I'm over 100 subscribers, which, like I've said, I never really thought that would happen. But that's cool and much appreciated. And so until next time, we'll see you down the trail.